Okay, so our little journey through Letitia's gardening is coming to an end now. We're now actually on the final part of the main body of the blanket, which we're now going to switch back to inset mosaic again. So I've picked up my smaller hook, and it's just going to be just like we did when we started part 4. I've got my slip knot on the hook, remembering 2 edge stitches, which are just standard double crochets to start us off, and just say, just like we did at the start of part 4, we're actually now going to do a row of back loop double crochets. So that's double crochets into the back loop only. So usually when we do an inset, we'll work through both loops. We're just doing that just to give us this nice little line to kind of finish off part 5, whoops, and start part 6. So this is using your CC3 colour or XX3 if you're doing the city palette. And say, just do a row double crochets into the back loops only, right up until the last 2 stitches, when of course you will do your standard 2 standard double crochets at the end, and then you'll do 1 turning chain and do a row of just totally ordinary double crochets in every stitch on the way back, and I'll meet you when we're ready to start row 3. Okay, so here we are after the first 2 rows of part 6, which are just say nice straightforward plain rows of double crochet. And as always with the inset mosaic, I haven't cut off my CC3 yarn. I've left it there because we're going to be doing 2 rows now in our main colour, and then we'll swap back again, so no need to cut it off. We'll get rid of lots of those ends in this part. You probably also notice I've got a stitch marker back again. It's a 24 stitch repeat for this part, so you might find it useful, particularly if you're doing one of the blankets, to actually just mark the end of each repeat like we were doing before. Okay, so that's why my marker is there. So I'm going to join our main colour. As always, when we start with an inset colour, just pull it through that loop. Oops, get that down, and then we effectively do our edge stitch. I mean, you can, I know a lot of people will actually finish off the last stitch of the previous round and just pull the new colour through the last 2 loops. You can do that, it doesn't make any difference really. I just kind of do it this way because then I can finish off the previous row, but it's entirely up to you. Okay, so we've now effectively done our turning chain. I'm just going to start with an ordinary double crochet through both loops on those first 2 stitches, and I've just worked over that end just to hold that secure until we come to actually sort of weave it in properly at the end. I know a lot of people say you can just work over it, and you can, but I've done that in the past, and over time, especially when the blanket's used quite a bit and maybe washed, what you can find is this little end will wriggle out and you end up with it all coming undone. So to avoid that, what I do is I'll just hold it sort of secure there now, and at the end I will actually thread a needle and weave it through properly. That's just my little tip there. Okay, so that's the 2 edge stitches, and if you look at the pattern for row 3 or the chart, you'll see there's one more. So it says 3 DCs. I'm just working over that for that. 3 DCs to the beginning, and now we start our main repeat. So we're going to start that with another 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm back to working through both loops again. It was just that first row where I did the back loop only. So we've now done our 5 double crochets there, so we've got 3 chain, and so you'll know by now that that means we're going to be missing 2 stitches. Okay, so then we've got 2 double crochets, and then another 3 chain, miss another 2 stitches, 1 double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3 chain, miss 2 stitches again, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, and then we end with 6 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we're ready now. So that's our first repeat complete. I am now going to pop my marker in that 6th double crochet there. And so that is it. That's your repeat you've got to do all the way along. So we started, if you remember, with 5 double crochets. So that means we've got 6 here, and then we're going to have another 5. So there'll actually be 11 double crochets in between our little thing with all the chain spaces. Okay, so I've now got to the end of row 3, done my second repeat, and I'm just left with the 2 edge stitches to do. So I'll just finish that off with the 2 double crochets, and say this is going to be exactly the same as all of the other return rows were on our inset parts we've already done. So you've got a turning chain, and then it is literally, you just work a double crochet into every stitch. So we haven't actually got any trebles yet, but if we did have, you would do a double crochet into them, so like so, and then every time you get to a chain space you just do exactly the same length of chain. So all of our spaces on row 3 were 3 chains, so we're going to do that now. So 1, 2, 3 chain, and then double crochets in each of the stitches. 3 chain, 1 double crochet. So just carry on and complete that, and then I'll see you for row 5. Okay, so that's row 4 done. We've got lots of little chain spaces that we're now going to have to sort of cover up with our trebles. So I'm going to start by, so again I've left my main colour attached, and I'm going to pick up XX3 or CC3 as always, like so, and then sort of seal that in with our turning chain. And then we've got our 2 double crochets for edge stitches, and then before the main repeat starts, rather than a stitch exactly, we've actually got 2 chains, and we're going to miss 1 stitch, and then we're going to start our main repeat there with 1 double crochet. So then we've got 3 chains, so we're going to be missing 2 stitches, and then we've got 2 double crochets and 2. There we go. Remember the front, not the front loop, I'm still doing overlay in my words. We're then going to work, so we're then going to do our treble 3 rows down into these missed stitches. So whenever you see the chain space, you know you're going to have to do that. So in there, making sure you keep your hook in front of the chains, because if you do work over it, it will affect the look of the piece. So I always say work in front of it. It's going to look much prettier on the front. So that's our 2 trebles 3 down. So now we've just got to do this again. So that this little bit was in square brackets, and it's telling, the pattern is telling us to do that twice. So we've now got another 2 double crochets and 2 trebles 3 down. Okay, so now we've got 2 chain. I'm going to miss this stitch, and then we've got 2 trebles 3 down, and 2 double crochet, and we do that twice. So 1, 2 trebles, and then 2 double crochets. So then we've got 3 chains, miss 2 stitches, and then we've got 1 double crochet in there, and we've now got, we're going to finish our repeat with another 2 chains and miss this marked stitch, so this is right in the middle there, so we're going to leave that there, and then we're going to start the repeat again with 1 double crochet, 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, okay, so now completed row 6. So we've starting to create the pattern now. I've just now started, I've picked up my main colour, did my 2 double crochet edge stitches and this 1 treble 3 rows down before the main repeat starts. So I've already got started on that. I'm now going to start with the main repeat on row 7. So that starts with 1 double crochet. And then we know we're going to need 2 trebles here, because we always do them when we see the chains. Okay, so that's our 2 trebles. So we've now got 3 chain, which means we're obviously going to miss 2 stitches. And then we've got 1 double crochet, and then another 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, and 3 double crochets. 2, 3. So now we've got 1 treble 3 rows down and 3 double crochets. So you can see we've got a kind of a sort of a mirror image going on here. So after our 3 double crochets, we've got 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, 1 double crochet, and then 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, and the 2 trebles 3 rows down. Okay, so now we've got 1 double crochet, and we're going to end or repeat with a treble in this little stitch here. So I'm just going to pop that marker back in there so we keep a track of where we're at. Okay, so this is what we are looking at after 8 rows, and I've now just picked up my CC3 colour and worked my 2 double crochet edge stitches there, and also before the main repeat starts there are 2 chains which I've done, and we're now going to miss a stitch. So we're now going to start the main repeat with 3 double crochet, so miss that stitch, 1, 2, 3 double crochets. And then we've obviously got the 2 trebles 3 down, because we've seen the chain spaces there, we have to work a treble into there. Then we've got 1 double crochet there and another 2 trebles, 1, 2, and then we've got 3 chains, which obviously means we're going to be missing 2 stitches, and then we've got 1 double crochet, 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, 1 double crochet, and then 3 chains, miss these 2 stitches, and then we've got our 2 trebles in there. So as I think I might have said before, you can see there's sort of a little mirror image going on here. So we now got 1 double crochet and another 2 trebles. And then we've got 3 double crochets, and we end or repeat with the 2 chain, and we're going to miss this marked stitch again. So it's now going to start the next repeat with 3 double crochets and so on. So just okay, so this is it after 10 rows. I've now just started off row 11 with my 2 double crochets for the edge stitches and 1 treble 3 rows down there, which comes before the main repeat. So now I'm going to start. If you look at the written instructions, you'll see that we've actually got some square brackets again. So we've now got to do what it says in those brackets twice. It says that afterwards. So we're going to do 3 chains, 2, 3 chains, miss 1, 2 stitches, 2 double crochets. So do that twice. 1, 2, 3 chains, 2 double crochets. And then we know when we see the chain spaces that we have to fill those in with the trebles 3 rows down. So I've done that. So then we've got 1 double crochet and another treble 3 rows down, 1 double crochet and 2 trebles. So now I've done that, we've now got some more square brackets, so we're going to be basically doing what we did here but the other way around. So we're going to be repeating 2 double crochets. Ooh. Then 1, 2, 3 chains, miss 2 stitches, so we do that again. 1, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 chains, miss the 2 stitches, and then we end the repeat with a treble and our little marked stitch there. So pop that back in and then carry on. So we're starting again from the beginning of the repeat there with our 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochets, and do that twice. So just got started now on row 13 with my 2 edge stitch double crochets and the extra one, so it's 3 double crochets before the main repeat starts. So now ready to start the repeat with, as we know, we're going to have to do a treble 3 down in each of these 2 stitches that we missed. Then we've got 2 double crochets and another 2 trebles. And then 3 chains. I'm going to miss these first 2 stitches there. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, then we've got 1, 2, 3 chains. I'm going to miss these last 2 stitches in that run there, and we've got trebles going into those 2 missed stitches. Okay, so then 2 double crochets, 2 trebles, we finish the repeat with a double crochet into our marked stitch there, and pop that back in. Okay, so we've basically, let's see, we've got like, I don't know whether you'd call these sort of leaves or sort of seed pods. My husband thinks they look like sort of close-up seed pods, or maybe even some pine cones or something. They're just a kind of a generic gardeny kind of pattern. But so we've now finished the top of this bit here, and if you see, it's kind of a mirror image here. So we're now going to just carry on. Second repeat starts with the 2 trebles, and so on. Okay, so I've just now got started on row 15 with my 3 double crochets before the main repeat starts. So we now start our repeat with 2 chains, so obviously means we're going to be missing 1 stitch, then 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 chains, so going to be missing 2 stitches, and then 1 double crochet and 2 trebles 3 down, and then we've got 3 double crochets, and 1 treble 3 down, another 3 double crochets, 2 trebles, and then we've got 1 double crochet there. So that's kind of, our little leaf is filling out nicely there. So we've now got 3 chains, gonna miss 2 stitches, two double crochet and 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, and we end that repeat with 1 double crochet in there. Just pop a little marker back in. And if you don't think you need the markers, then by all means stop using them. But so on a bigger project it can be quite useful. It's a little double check that makes sure you haven't got lost. So now it's a case of starting the repeat again. 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, okay, so we've now done 16 rows and our pattern is really starting to take shape now. So I've just now started off row 17 as usual with the 2 edge stitches and the extra one as you. So we've got the 3 double crochets before our main repeat starts. So again, we're going to start, as we know, with 1 treble 3 down in there. Then we have got 2 double crochets and 2 trebles, and 1 double crochet, and we've now got 3 chains. So we're going to miss obviously 2 stitches, and 3 double crochets, 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 3 chains, miss 2 stitches, 1 double crochet, and then 2 trebles, whoops, 2 doubles, and 1 treble there, and then I'll repeat ends with a double crochet in that marked stitch. Okay, so let's carry on with that. The second repeat starts there with our treble 3 down. Okay, so I've now done 18 rows, and that 18th row there was actually the last time we're going to need to use our CC3 colour, so I've just cut that off there. So you can fasten off if you want, but to be honest we're going to be weaving them all in at the end, so I've just cut it off there so that way we can carry on just picking up our loop in our main colour as we have been before. So that's what I'm now going to do. You've got, pick that up there, pull that down, and what we're going to do is just bring it round. So after we've done our turning chain, we can now just work over that with our first couple of little edge stitches just to hold it secure until we properly weave them in at the end. Okay, so we've got on row 19, we've started with 1, 2, oh, there's actually 3 double crochets, and then we're going to start our repeat with 3 chains, 2, 3, miss 1, 2, and we've got 2 double crochets, and then whoops, 1, 2, 3 chain, miss those 2 stitches, and 2 trebles, 3 down. So what we're basically doing, if you can see, is we've now our sort of little leaf, seed pod, whatever you think it looks like, it's gone out. This is the widest point, and we're now going to work our way back again. So we've now got 3 double crochets, 1 treble, 3 doubles, 2 trebles, and then we've got 3 chains, miss 1, 2, 2 double crochets, 1, how many chains? 3 again. And then we finish our repeat with our double crochet in our mount stitch there. Okay, I'm probably not going to bother to mark anymore, but you certainly carry on. Oh, if I can get it out. Okay. Okay, so now it's time to start row 21. So we've got to join our new colour on there, which is CC2 or XX1 if you are doing that reduced colourway colorway of the City Garden. Okay, so as before, we're just gonna do our turning chain and then just work over that tail with our first couple of edge stitches there, just to hold it in place. Okay, so now we're gonna, before the main repeat starts, we've got 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, and our 2 trebles there. So we've now got 2 double crochets, and then do the same again. So 2 treble, 2 down, 2 double crochets. Okay, so we've now got 3 chains. You're going to miss 2 stitches. We've got 1 double crochet, 2 chain, miss 1 stitch, another double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chains, miss the 2 stitches, 2 double crochets. So we've then got 2 trebles, 3 down, 2 double crochets twice. That's not right, is it? It was actually, see, I was trying to carry on without looking at the pattern. It's actually what we were repeating is the 2 double crochets, 2 treble, 3 down. So we're going to do that twice. Okay, so we've done it there. So we now end our repeat with our 2 chains, and this is our last stitch there that we're going to be missing, and now we start again. 2 trebles. Okay, so I've just now started row 23 with my 2 edge stitches and the treble that comes before the main repeat starts. So now I'm going to start our repeat with 3 double crochets. Then we've got 3 chains, obviously missing 2 stitches, 1 double crochet, 3 chains, miss 2 stitches, 2 double crochets. Now we've got 1 double crochet, 1 treble, 3 rows down, 1 double crochet, 2 trebles, 3 rows down. So now I've got 1, 2, 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, 1 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chain, miss 2 stitches, 3 double crochets, and then our first repeat ends with that treble 3 down. So carry on like that across, do your return row as usual, and to be honest you should be able now to carry on just following the chart and or the written instructions, whichever you prefer. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take you through each individual row now, but I will just come back every few rows and just show you a little picture of what your work should be looking like at that point.